For a long time, humans looked up at the stars and wondered if they were alone. Then, one day, the answer came. Giant ships, shining like diamonds, appeared in Earth's sky. They came in peace, or so they said. The leaders of Earth welcomed them with open arms. People filled the streets to celebrate. Flags waved. Music played. It was the greatest moment in human history. Humanity had found friends among the stars, or so they thought. The visitors were part of the Galactic Council, a group of powerful alien races that ruled the galaxy. They spoke kind words. They shared small gifts, simple technology. They smiled and promised friendship. Behind their glowing eyes, however, there was fear. They had watched humans grow. They had seen humans survive wars, plagues, and disasters. They had seen humans fight against all odds and win again and again. The council began to whisper in secret meetings. Humans are dangerous, they said. Humans will never be controlled. They must be removed before it's too late. And so, while Earth danced under the stars, the council made a dark decision. One cold morning, without any warning, the skies over Earth changed. Massive alien ships appeared, blocking the sun. They did not come to talk this time. They came to judge. A deep voice spoke from the sky. People of Earth, you are hereby exiled. You are too dangerous to join the galactic family. You are a threat to all life. From this day, you are alone. Panic spread like fire. Cities froze. Planes fell from the sky. Satellites died in orbit. Communication with the outside world was cut off. No more internet. No more news. No more hope. Earth was isolated, trapped in a prison without walls. The people begged. Leaders screamed for answers. But the council said nothing more. They simply left, leaving Earth broken, confused, and scared. The days that followed were dark. Without alien technology, the power grids failed. Food became hard to find. Cities, once full of light and laughter, grew quiet. Buildings stood empty. Streets turned into graveyards. In the deserts, in the mountains, in the deep underground, fires burned. Some still fought to survive. Some whispered that this was the end. But not everyone gave up. In secret bunkers beneath the ruins of great cities, small groups of humans met in the shadows. Scientists, soldiers, engineers, the best minds left on Earth. They did not cry. They did not beg. They did not forget. They planned. While the world above fell into darkness, underground labs hummed with secret life. Tiny generators powered hidden machines. Old satellites were dragged from the sky and rebuilt. New weapons were designed on cracked computers. Men and women, tired and dirty, worked by the light of dying lamps. They shared one dream: revenge. They fear us, whispered a young engineer welding a broken engine. Good. Let's give them a reason to fear. In deep caverns, blueprints for strange new ships were drawn by hand. In forgotten factories, ancient machines were woken from their sleep. In dead cities, small drones searched for lost technology, scavenging anything that could be useful. Above them, the stars looked cold and silent. No help was coming. No mercy would be given. But in the darkness, humanity changed. It hardened. It grew sharper, stronger, angrier. The children of Earth, once full of hope, now learned the bitter taste of betrayal. They did not trust words anymore. They trusted only actions, only strength. Years would pass. Earth would bleed. Many would die. But the dream would live on. A single message was carved into the walls of an underground shelter where 1,000 survivors slept. They threw us away. Now we rise. Outside, the ruins of once great cities whispered in the cold wind. But deep below, the heart of Earth still beat, slow, steady, and unstoppable. The galaxy believed Earth was finished. They had no idea what was coming. Not yet. The attack on Vorta Prime shook the galaxy. Worlds that once trusted the Council now whispered in fear. If Vorta Prime, a strong and proud colony, could fall so quickly. Who would be next? The council scrambled to find answers. They searched for pirates, for secret armies, for hidden enemies. But no one guessed the truth. No one guessed Earth had returned from the ashes. And while the council searched blindly, Earth moved again. Across the stars, hidden human fleets struck fast and hard. Small ships raided enemy supply lines. Stealth drones sabotaged communication networks. Entire trade routes vanished in silence. In less than 6 months, the galaxy's safe roads became death traps. Merchant ships refused to travel without heavy guards. Colonies begged for protection. Fear spread like a sickness. And everywhere, in burning cities and broken ships, the same message was left behind. Earth remembers. On Earth, deep beneath the ground, in the city of Haven, the leaders gathered again. Leah Cross stood before a huge map of the galaxy. Red marks showed every human victory. Blue marks showed the Council's strongholds. She touched a blue star on the edge of the map. Next, she said simply. The star was named Tessera, a peaceful world rich with technology. A jewel in the Council's crown. If Earth took Tessera, the Council's control would break even more. The plan was risky. Tessera was far from Earth. Human fleets would need to travel through dangerous space, past enemy patrols. Supplies would be thin, reinforcements slow. But Leave didn't blink. If we stay safe, we stay slaves, she said. We fight, or we die forgotten. The Council of Haven voted. Unanimous. Attack Tessera. The fleet launched under a new flag, the flag of the fallen star. A black flag with a single broken star in the middle. It was a reminder of Earth's fall and its rise. The journey to Tessera was brutal. Alien patrols hunted the humans. Meteor storms battered their ships. Supplies ran dangerously low. At one point, an enemy cruiser almost found them. The humans had to float silent in deep space for 3 days. Engines off, air recycled, barely breathing. But they survived. They always survived. Finally, they'd reached Tessera's orbit. Below them, the planet shined like a blue and green jewel. Cities glittered. Towers pierced the clouds. Alien ships patrolled the skies. But they were not ready for what was coming. The attack began with fire raining from the sky. Human stealth ships dropped explosive charges onto defense stations. Anti-aircraft batteries exploded before they could fire. Shields crackled and fell. The aliens panicked. Then, the main fleet charged in. Sleek black ships weaved through the chaos, targeting power plants, communication hubs, and military bases. Fighter squadrons dogfought in the skies, human pilots using brutal, fearless tactics that the aliens had never seen before. Tessera's defenders fought bravely, but they were not prepared for human rage. On the ground, special strike teams landed. They moved through cities like shadows, disabling key targets, planting charges, causing confusion. The people of Tessera, who had once ignored Earth's cries for help, now cried for mercy. There would be none. By the 3rd day, Tessera's government surrendered. Their leaders stood trembling before Leah Cross's second-in-command, Marcus Fane. Marcus gave them only 2 choices: swear loyalty to Earth or fall into dust. The leaders bowed their heads. They swore. Tessera became the first world outside Earth to fall under human rule. The galaxy watched in horror. Earth, the forgotten world, the exiled race, had taken a jewel of the Council, and they had done it without mercy, without warning, without pause. The Council finally realized the truth. Humanity had not died. It had been reborn, harder, sharper, more dangerous than ever before. And Earth's fire was spreading across the stars. Far away, in the shining halls of the Galactic Council, leaders argued and shouted. Some demanded full war. Others begged for peace talks. But deep down, they all knew one terrible thing. They had created this monster themselves. By exiling Earth, they had forged a weapon that would now destroy everything they had built. Earth would not stop. Earth would not forgive. Earth would not forget. The fire was burning across the stars, and soon it would reach the very heart of the galaxy. The years of waiting were over. The underground cities buzzed with energy. The new ships were ready. The warriors were trained. Humanity had sharpened itself into a weapon. Now it was time to use it. The leaders of Haven met in a dark room lit only by screens and old maps. At the center stood Leah Cross, now older, her face lined by years of hard work, her eyes colder than ice. She spoke one sentence. Begin the first strike. Across Earth's surface, hidden hangars opened like old scars. Ships, sleek and deadly, rose into the sky for the first time. They made no sound. They left no trail. They were ghosts. Above them, the galaxy slept, believing Earth was dead. It was their last peaceful night. The first target was a small alien listening post on the far side of Jupiter's orbit. It had once belonged to the Council. Now it was poorly guarded. Only a few lazy ships circled it, their crews bored, their weapons cold. They never saw the attack coming. From the darkness of space, Earth's ships struck like knives. Lasers cut through metal. Mines exploded in silence. Within minutes, the station was nothing but drifting debris. No messages escaped. No survivors lived to tell the tale. Earth's first blow had landed. Clean, sharp, deadly. And it had just begun. Across the galaxy, other small bases belonging to the Council started to disappear. One by one, they went dark. Outposts near empty planets. Research labs floating in lonely space. Border stations guarding quiet sectors. All destroyed. The Council noticed, but too late. They were confused. Pirates. Rebels. Natural disasters. They never suspected Earth. They had long erased humans from their thoughts. Their mistake. In a secret command ship orbiting the dark side of the moon, Leah Cross watched every move. She stood before a large screen showing the galaxy, blinking dots for every enemy station destroyed. Her second in command, a hard soldier named Marcus Vane, stood beside her. "They're scared," he said, a smile creeping onto his face. "Good," Lee replied. "They should be." The Council finally sent scout ships to investigate. It didn't matter. The moment they entered human space, they'd vanished without a trace. Humanity had become the hunter. The Council was now the prey. But humans didn't just want to destroy small stations. They wanted something bigger. They wanted to send a message that the entire galaxy would never forget. The target, Vorta Prime, a mid-sized planet and one of the Council's proudest colonies, a symbol of alien power, a jewel of civilization. If Earth could strike Vorta Prime, the galaxy would know Earth was back. It was a dangerous mission. The planet was heavily defended. Huge energy shields surrounded it. Fleets of warships patrolled the skies. Ground forces were strong and ready. But humans were ready too. They had built secret weapons, things the galaxy had never seen. Ships with cloaking shields, drones that could cut through force fields, weapons that fired invisible beams, melting metal without light or sound. The attack plan was simple. Break the shield, hit the government center, leave a message for the Council, escape before reinforcements arrived. Failure was not an option. At the edge of Vorta Prime's system, Earth's fleet appeared, silent and unseen. A coded message buzzed through the ships. "This is for Earth." The battle began. Invisible ships slipped past enemy patrols. Drones darted through shield cracks. Explosions ripped across Vorta Prime's sky. Government buildings crumbled. Alien leaders screamed for help, but none came fast enough. The planet's once beautiful capital burned bright against the blackness of space. In the middle of the attack, Earth's fleet dropped a single metal sphere onto the surface. It cracked open with a hiss, revealing a simple hologram message in glowing blue words. "You exiled us. Now we return. Remember Earth." Within minutes, Earth's ships vanished into space, leaving Vorta Prime in ruins. Across the galaxy, shockwaves spread. Who had done this? Who had the power to defeat a stronghold like Vorta Prime? Rumors flew like wildfires. Some whispered it was an ancient enemy returned. Others feared it was something even worse. No one, not even the Council, guessed the truth. No one believed the broken, exiled humans could strike back with such force. But Leah Cross and the warriors of Earth knew. And they were just getting started. The stars had turned their backs on humanity once. Now, Earth would make sure the stars remembered them forever. The first strike was only the beginning. Years passed after Earth was exiled. The world many once knew was gone. Great cities became empty shells. Nature took back the land. Roads cracked. Towers fell. Silence ruled where once there had been life. But beneath the ground, the forgotten ones worked. They were the survivors, the engineers, the scientists, the soldiers, the dreamers. They were the last hope of Earth. In deep bunkers and hidden caves, they built secret cities. Their homes were cold and dark, powered by old machines and small reactors. Food was hard to grow. Water was precious. Every day was a fight to survive. But even in the hardest times, they did not stop. They remembered what had been done to them. They remembered the cold voice from the sky. They remembered the betrayal. While the surface world froze and starved, these forgotten humans became something new. They became stronger, smarter, harder. They learned to fix broken machines with scraps. They learned to build weapons from junk. They learned to fight without fear. The leaders who rose among them were not politicians or rich men. They were soldiers, engineers, builders, people who worked with their hands and their hearts. Men and women who knew that survival was not enough. They wanted revenge. They wanted their place among the stars back. They wanted to make the galaxy fear the name Earth once again. In the largest underground city, called Haven, a council of warriors and scientists met every week. Maps of the stars, old and tattered, hung on the walls. Broken alien tech, salvaged from old ruins, was studied piece by piece. One day, a young engineer named Leah Cross stood before the council. She was thin, her hands burned from endless work, but her eyes burned brighter than any fire. She spoke simply, with no fear. "They called us dangerous," she said. "They were right. It's time we remind them." The council agreed. It was time to rise. In secret chambers, the first new ships were built. Not the heavy, slow ships of old Earth, but small, fast, deadly ones. Ships made from human genius and stolen alien technology. Ships designed for one purpose: war. The humans trained their bodies harder than ever before. They trained their minds to solve problems faster, think quicker. They trained for a future no one believed was possible anymore. Small groups were sent to the surface to test the new machines. Drones buzzed through the broken cities. Stealth ships raced across the dead skies. Satellites, thought lost forever, blinked back to life under human control. From space, Earth still looked dead. That's what they wanted the galaxy to believe. They wanted the council to forget about them, to lower their guard, to think the exile had worked. Meanwhile, the humans grew stronger in the shadows. Every broken ship dragged from the stars was a gift. Every scrap of alien tech was a weapon waiting to be made. Every child born in the underground cities was taught one lesson: never trust the stars. Trust only your strength. The young ones did not dream of peace. They dreamed of ships breaking through alien defenses. They dreamed of standing on enemy worlds with Earth's flag flying above them. They dreamed of making the stars pay for what they had done. In Haven's great hall, under the cracked stone ceiling, a giant painting was made. It showed Earth, dark and scarred, rising from the ashes like a phoenix with wings of fire. Under the painting were 3 simple words, carved deep into the rock: "We are not broken." Late at night, old radio towers sent quiet signals into the sky. No one answered. That was good. They weren't calling for help. They were listening, watching, waiting. And when the time was right, they would answer, not with words, but with fire. The galaxy had forgotten about Earth. The Council had moved on, thinking the exile was a success. The stars had turned their backs on humanity, but Earth had not forgotten. Hidden under layers of dust and stone, humanity sharpened its claws. It rebuilt its mind. It filled its heart with fire. The day of revenge was coming. And this time, it would be unstoppable. The galaxy was burning. Trade routes were broken. Colonies were lost. Fear ruled the stars. And everywhere, people whispered one name in terror: Earth. The Galactic Council, once proud and powerful, now shook with fear. Meetings turned into shouting matches. Alliances crumbled. Old friends blamed each other. No one could stop the human attacks. Every day, another world fell. Every day, Earth's flag, the broken star, rose higher. The Council finally made a choice. They would not hide. They would not beg. They would fight. They called for the last defense, a massive army from every member race. Hundreds of warships, thousands of soldiers, all gathering at one place. Valcora, the Council's capital world. If Earth wanted to finish this war, they would have to come and face the full force of the galaxy. The Council thought they were ready. They were wrong. In Haven, deep under Earth's surface, Leah Cross watched the enemy movements. Marcus Vane stood beside her, arms crossed, face grim. "They want a final battle," he said. Leah nodded slowly. "Then we'll give them one they'll never forget." The humans knew they couldn't match the Council's numbers, but they had something better: fear, anger, and desperation. They had nothing left to lose. Leah gave the command: "Launch everything. We end this now." Across Earth and its captured worlds, every human ship lifted into the black sky. This was not just a battle. It was revenge. The journey to Valcora was brutal. Enemy scout ships attacked from hidden points. Trap mines floated through empty space. Ambushes waited behind dead moons. But nothing stopped the humans. Every loss only made them fight harder. By the time they reached Valcora's system, the human fleet was battered, but still deadly. They faced an ocean of enemy ships. Valcora's orbit glittered with war machines, shields, and battle platforms. The planet's surface bristled with cannons. It was a fortress. Leah Cross stood on the bridge of her flagship, the Black Dawn. Before her, the enemy stretched from horizon to horizon. She smiled. "Today," she said, "the stars remember us." Then she gave the order: "All ships, attack." The sky above Valcora exploded into chaos. Human ships, smaller and faster, darted through the enemy lines. They weaved between heavy cruisers, dropping bombs and hacking systems. Every human pilot fought like they had nothing to lose. Because they didn't. Ships rammed enemy vessels when weapons failed. Fighters dived into the heart of battle. Fearless. The Council's great fleet was strong, but it was slow, divided, arrogant. They had never fought an enemy like this. They had never fought humans who had tasted betrayal and had been forged in pain. One by one, the Council's mighty ships fell. Explosions lit up the blackness of space. Debris rained down on Valcora's sky. On the ground, human strike teams landed. They fought through the great halls of the Council's capital. Aliens in golden robes fled through marble corridors. Statues of ancient victories toppled and shattered. Marcus Vane led the final charge into the Council's chamber, a huge room of silver and glass where the leaders once ruled. Now, the leaders cowered behind guards. Marcus raised his weapon. "Your time is over," he said. The guards threw down their arms. The leaders fell to their knees. It was done. The Council had fallen. Across the galaxy, a single message was broadcast on every channel. "This is Earth. You exiled us. You left us to die. Now, The stars belong to us. Colonies that once obeyed the Council now swore loyalty to Earth. Worlds that had forgotten humans now begged for forgiveness. The era of the Galactic Council ended that day, and a new era began, the era of Earth. But Leah Cross knew this was only the beginning. Humanity had survived betrayal. Humanity had conquered the stars. Now, they would build something new, something stronger, something no one would ever dare to break again. Under the broken star flag, Earth would rise higher than ever before. And the galaxy would never forget the day when Earth returned, with fire,